Hey, what's up traders? Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast for the 360 Capital, and as usually we will look to the dollar index, euro, pound and USD CAD. We will analyze the COT data and the charts. Alright, so let's go into it. So dollar has finally break this range where we've been trading for quite some time. And as I was predicting in the last week forecast, I was expecting that we will go higher. However, as you can see, it was a little bit tricky and the market makers really took us during this range, taking the lows. So in one moment, I was really thinking that we might get the pullback until this level, and then from here we will go up, right? However, it did not happen, and on the non-farm payrolls, price start to shoot up, right? So in my opinion, it's now really pretty clear that we are going higher, right? So let me bring the news for the next week, and we can see that basically the Powell is speaking on the Monday. We have PMI services, and then Tuesday Canada, and then Thursday there is unemployment claims, and Friday as well the Canada. There is no news for the pound and for the euro. I mean, not the red news, not the big ones which are moving the markets, right? So in my opinion, let me bring it to the daily so you can see it clearly what I mean. And if we plot the fib from this high to this low, right, then we got 61.8 in here, right? So in my opinion, clearly these highs will be taken, right? So if we look to the how the price is behaving, we can see that basically the lows are being rejected, highs being broken, lows rejected, highs broken, right? And also this is nicely repeating. Also we can see that this beautiful candle, this big market makers candle, is coming with huge volume, right, on the futures. So in my opinion, as said, there is not going to be any big news. So basically the tone for the next week is probably set, and what I will be looking for is just a pullback, if we get it, into this breaker block, right, which is these two candles in here. Also it's in confluence of this monthly open, right? And also we have this this is a daily fair value gap, right, where the price traded below, and now finally we are closing above it, right? So in my opinion, this would be a supportive region for the price to going higher, right? So I'm bullish, and I think we will reach 104.5, something like that, or even potentially higher, right? So let's look for the COT data. We can see that actually the market makers has been adding some longs, they've been adding more shorts, right? So they probably building some position for that pullback which I was talking about, right? But it's not in the cards right now, and as we know, they have large money in their pocket, so they can be building the shorts positions for quite some time until that happen, right? So for this week I'm seeing a bullish candle, and as we have the news on the Mondays, I think there will be great entry on the Monday, and then until the Thursday nothing will really change, and I think we will not get any big pullback, right? So that's what I think right now. Obviously that's just a pre-market prediction, and you know, everything can be different, but this is what gives me the more clarity and most sense, and I think that's what's going on, right? Let's go to the euro, and it's actually the opposite of the dollar index, right? So we can see if we look to the previous week analysis, we've been looking for the break lower below these lows, right, with some pullback and breaking lower, which is actually happening, right? As you can see, those pullbacks was quite huge, right? So this range was I would not say difficult trading. It was quite nice. I took some long here, some shorts here, then I had short here, close to early, right? Anyway, what I think is where we are going right now, again, below this low, right? Why? It's a 61.8 fib of this swing move, right? So if we take a fib from this low to this high, right? 61.8 will be below these lows, right? And in my opinion, we will see a break of this low as well, and we can get into this. We have the nice gap on the daily in here. This is where we could go, right? So what I do not like to do in here is just to short the low in here. So what I have in here, in my opinion, this monthly open, which was happening here on the Tuesday, I think, is where actually this sharp move higher into the liquidity happened, and then price drop lower, right? So what was happening in here? Probably market makers has created the shorts in here, right? So in my opinion, this monthly open level would be a resistance for the price to going higher. Also, next levels we have this 50% and this gap, right? So as you can see, I got the alarms in here. This is my two levels where I would like to see a, if the price comes there, where I would like to be shorting, right? So we could see something like a break, you know, then some retest, and then I would like to see a shorts in here, right? So what I would like to see is that price make some pullback, moves higher, right? Here we have some Asian session range, and then the rate of that session, and you know, then it can happen the move down, right? If we look to the COT data, we can see that basically the market makers are closing their longs positions, right? And they've been bringing the shorts, right? I recently thought that the euro could bounce from this level, and it actually bounced from here, right? Few times, 1-2 times, right? So we had these two big bounce. For this week, this low would be my target, and I would like to be entering on the pullbacks into the monthly open, or if we get it in here, right? So yeah, bearish on the euro. Let's go to the pound. We've been in this big range, right? For quite some time. It was almost from half of December, price is in this range, right? So previous week analysis was that the pound will basically drop from these highs and will be going lower, right? So as you can see, it's what was in the play, price broken and going lower. In my opinion, it will continue lower as the dollar is going higher. It's not a usual happening that the dollar would be going higher and pound as well, but it can be a little bit disconnected from the euro. But also what is in my opinion happening in here, you can see that basically the highs being rejected, right, and lows being broken, right? So another one probably will be broken in here, right? In my opinion, in here it still could be ranging and making some big bounce, and the drop down would not be like straight down as we can see on the euro, right? Why? Because if you look to the COT data, we can see that the market makers are quite interestingly still quite bullish, right? In their positions. They have 34k net positions, which was the high. However, we need to be cautious because it was reported on the Tuesday, which is somewhere here. Where was the report, right? So what they could do in these highs, they could close some more positions, which we don't see in the data right now, because we basically see what they want us to see, right? So yeah, COT data is not in a sync at the moment. However, it's all pointing that this is a changing of the market direction, right? So yes, we could go higher, but I do not think we will go, you know, like the trend is in the up continuation, right? Also, if we go to the daily, we can see that the price has already reached 61.8 of this swing, right? So that was a nice level to do some reversal. And right now, if we plot Fib from this high to this low, right, we are looking that it could do this pullback, right? If you look to the euro is actually already somewhere around here, right? And it's aiming for the 61.8, which is what the pound did not do yet. So yeah, I think that some kind of a still some wipeout higher could be happening, so we have to be cautious. But overall, in my opinion, it's going lower and it's going into these lows, right? So again, I have monthly open, I have this balance price range, right, which is these two gaps covering each other's, and I think if we get from here, we could get some nice bounce, right, down. Also have to be cautious. Here we have this beautiful order block which bounce up, right, and again in here we could see some short-term bounce, right? So basically, if we are bearish, we want to be selling the rates up, right? We don't want to be selling the low, right? So one of my rules, never sell a low, never buy a high, right? So yeah, this would be a low. Obviously it can work if you just tomorrow on the Sunday open the trades. It can be dropping lower, right? But where you put your stop loss, you need to hide behind some structure, behind anything. And if you selling the low, basically your stop loss always has to be bigger than if you selling some highs, right? You have like a bigger potential for the risk rewards, right? So that's it for the pound. So let's go to another one, and it's a Canadian dollar. So Canadian dollar, last week I had the prediction that we will most likely drop a bit lower in here into this nice order block, and then we will continue higher again to the 61.8, right, above these highs. So basically these three pairs has a very similar price action, and as we can see, it actually happened right in here. So the price has dropped into this order block, took out this liquidity, bounced 2 times, and now is going higher, right? So in my opinion, nothing very difficult or to think about in here. I think we have a lot of room to go into these highs, and in my opinion, we will not be surprised if price breaks higher and going to the 61.8 level, right? So overall, if we look at it like this, right, so we can plot the fib from high to the low. Right here is 61.8, right? So it's I don't say that it cannot happen, but it's not happening too often that the reversal would go from the 50%, right? It mostly goes from the 61.8, and if there is and it's mostly looking for the liquidity, which is some level like this one, above 50%, right? Above a 50%. So that's in my opinion clear that we can go higher into this beautiful at least into this beautiful daily fair value gap, which is placed between 61.8 and 79, right? If we look to the USD CAD, this one looks like it's really has a most potential, because you can see what's actually the definition of the trend, right? Again, rejecting lows, breaking highs, right? Rejecting lows, breaking highs, again rejecting lows, right, and going to break the highs, right? So here we have again, if we look at it this way, we got a let me zoom a little bit, right? So we got this monthly open price dropped lower and was taking higher, right? So we can see these big candles, which are from where is the up move, we can see that the volume is much bigger than when the price was going lower, right? So once we getting the up moves, we getting the volume, right? So that's why I think something like this would be beautiful for this week, right? So let's check the COT data, and we can see that yes, the market makers has been building some longs, which makes me a little bit think that we might get a pullback first. But as you can see, last 4 weeks they reduced the shorts and they reduced the longs also, right? But as you can see, it's flipped and it's still more to the long side, right? Although we have only 2K net positions, but also we have to be aware that these positions were reported on the Tuesday, right? So where is it? Tuesday? Somewhere around Wednesday, Tuesday. So it's here, right? In here they are reporting these shorts, right, and less longs, but then it went down into the liquidity and a huge volume was traded, right? So if we put it into the confluence with the dollar and the other things, then it has a potential to go higher. On the dollar, we have to be cautious. On the Tuesday and the Friday, we have a news. So most likely we could get something like a pullback, and that then on that Tuesday, that news could be a driver, a catalyst for the price to moving higher, right? So this week I'm not going to into the MT4 platform because it's everything pretty straightforward. We don't need to highlight too much levels. So my plan is cleaner, right? So these monthly opens are mostly the levels which being retested, right? So that's where I would be looking on the entries on these and all other pairs, right? Targeting higher, right? So in my opinion, as I said, the dollar is bullish and we will see up move, right? So that's it from me, guys. I wish you have a great trading next week, and bye bye.